Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be like the first night I've made like 4 videos in forever. I'm recording this on March 4th. It's 6:35 p.m. We're about 35 minutes into Trump's address to Congress, which I am not watching. Instead, I am quoting a Donald Trump Truth Social post from a day ago. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump. To the great farmers of the United States. Get ready to start making a lot of agricultural product to be sold inside of the United States. Tariffs will go on external product on April 2nd. Have fun! Now, Belle of the Ranch, I think, had something like this, and I've seen it on TikTok too. What this post implies is that Donald Trump is going to put a tariff on goods being exported outside the United States. And you might ask yourself, what? I had to explain this to Michelle, and it took her brain a little bit to get around that, because that's not a thing. You don't put tariffs on goods leaving your country. You usually put tariffs to protect your industries, not to punish them, but this is a punishment. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because Trump has put tariffs on Mexico, and a lot of produce comes in from Mexico into the United States, in his 3-year-old tapioca glue-eating mind, then we just have to prevent U.S. farmers from selling their products to other countries. They should be selling it to U.S. citizens. Therefore, all the food we're not getting from Mexico will be generated here, and everybody will still be eating, and food prices will go down. Something like that. That's not how it works. But that's how it works in his mind, because he's not very smart. So these tariffs would be a way to stop U.S. farmers from exporting their goods because they'll be too expensive to sell outside the United States. And so what do you do with them? Well, you have to sell them inside the United States. That's just the way it's going to be. There's a fellow on TikTok who's a political advocate, but he's also a farmer and rancher. He has a channel called Back 40. And he was talking about this, and basically he said the math don't math. U.S. farmers sell things to China, which has 1.4 billion people that we send food to, and he named off a bunch of other countries. There's only 330 people in the United States, so that's 1/5 of China's population that we were selling stuff to. You are not going to be able to. The farmers aren't going to be able to make the money that they would be making like they would if they sold it to China. Anyway, there we have it. Let's go ahead and read. I'll try and keep this a quick reading here. Let's read on Trump wanting to basically put tariffs on farmers. It's a thing now. For entertainment purposes only. It's an absolute betrayal. I think the farmers remember this the last time he put the tariffs on China. It killed their industries, and they had to be bailed out by Congress. But this could also be Trump not letting him sell things out. But I think this is the farmers and the ranchers feeling betrayed by Trump. And now it's kind of like the, what's next? You've put tariffs on imports so that, and the retaliatory tariffs came out, and you've done this before, and you've destroyed small family farms. You're doing it again, and now you're not even going to let us sell what we can sell outside the United States. This might become my tariff card here. This might actually be my tariff card here, because tariffs. In the past, you got the 4 of Cups. I'll keep this with the farmers and ranchers. They didn't like what he did the last time, but they voted for him again because they figured he learned his lesson and wouldn't be doing that again. But now he's going to cost them a lot of money. First off, he wants to get rid of all the brown people so that these farmers can't actually harvest their crop. And if they do harvest their crop, they can't sell it outside the United States to the world market because it's going to cost them money. But it not only costs them money for, the countries like China are going to order less food because of the tariffs, but then they have to pay the government too, so they're being taxed twice on this, or they're being hit twice on this. Overarching energy is the strength card. Farming, is this really strength? Is this mastery? Or is this complete non-mastery of the situation? Well, this is not playing to strengths. This is a bitter pill to swallow by somebody who they're trusting. Somebody who they thought was smart and had infinite wisdom. Instead, they're getting a bitter pill to swallow. The lesson to be learned: the king decrees and the peasants have to obey. A lot of family farms are going to go closed. They're going to go silent. They're going to go dormant. They're not going to have the money. There's going to be a lot of shutting down of family farms. I don't think Trump's going... now, this whole external tariff thing, I'll read to see if that's in there. But generally speaking, this is going to cause a lot of anxiety amongst farmers and ranchers. Anybody trying to export things. Again, Donald Trump is not a mental giant. He's never farmed a day in his life. I haven't either. But guess what? I have a little bit of sense. And I can assure you that not all crops grow in all places. Corn is grown a lot in the Midwest. Why? Because the climate allows for it. And it's not necessarily corn that you eat. It could be corn for ethanol. It could be corn that's used for meal, for cattle. It's not just, or pet products. It's not like you're going to have all of a sudden the tomato farms or pot plants or something like that growing in Oklahoma. You don't grow strawberries there. The climate's not right. So, yeah, they can grow stuff to sell in the United States. I hope y'all like corn, because corn and wheat, you better get used to it. That's going to be what you're going to be able to afford. We're going to have bread and polenta. God. All right. Will he actually institute these external tariffs? There's no such thing. Well, I guess there is. There's that strength card. It's a bitter pill. Yeah, he's going to. He's going to try and force this thing in. It's going to be a huge burden on farmers. There'll be maybe there's going to be legal challenges about that, about the legality of him trying to do this. But Trump and the Empress, this is a bitter pill to swallow for those. And look at the next card underneath it is the Tower card. Actually, there are two cards: the King of Pentacles and the Tower. He's going to come crashing the economy here. I have the Empress I have this as the farmers. These are the ones that are feeding us. Kind of like how this is the bread. Ukraine's the bread basket of the world. Trump feels like the farmers can take this bitter pill. Why? Probably because they've been given handouts and subsidies from the government for a while. And by putting external tariffs in place, he's going to keep things inside the country. It's a terrible idea. It's a huge burden on the farmers. And it's going to be the unintended consequences are there. There's a whole lot of, and then what? That doesn't happen. What happens next? That should be the question you're asking. There's not a lot of that going on in this administration. And Elon Musk is that way. We'll just do it and we'll see what happens. Then we'll know. Yeah. You could go through the mental exercise and probably predict what will happen, and that might help guide you to a better decision. All right. How will farmers react, or how are farmers reacting to this news? Are they even paying attention? I haven't even gotten to the First Amendment rights. Trump's trying to take away college students' First Amendment rights. He doesn't want them criticizing dear leader. How very North Korean of you. But that's the next reading. Okay. How will farmers handle external tariffs? There we go. We got the world card popping up. I'll leave that one up there. External tariffs. This is what you're doing for the rest of the world. Let's throw a second one. It's an absolute betrayal. That's the other thing. You know, again, I tell you, I'm not a farmer. I've never farmed, but I played Harvest Moon. That doesn't count. Maybe a little. You have to plan these things out. It's not like a farmer wakes up one day, I think I'm going to plant radishes today. That's not what happens. They got to plan things out. You got to have the right equipment. You have to have the right environment for it. You have to have the right equipment for it. You have to have the right soil conditions for it. You have to have the ability to provide the water or the nutrients that the crop needs. And I've already talked about climate. You've got to have the equipment to harvest it. You have to have a place to store it. And you have to have a customer to buy it. This is just... They can't plan anything. It's an absolute betrayal. They're denying them the world. Oh, Five of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Justice card, the Knight of Swords. This is just... It's hitting them so quickly. They're going to plead with Trump, don't do this. There may be some grumblings from that. Maybe there's some lawsuits. The Justice card came up again. There will be trying to put lawsuits out there. To protect themselves. This might be like a farmers co-op or something like that. Maybe some folks step up to try and protect the farmers of this world. This is an opportunity for Democrats to reach out to the rural communities, the farmers and the ranchers of this world, to say, hey, this is screwed, this isn't right, and we're going to go to bat for you. And then maybe, just maybe, 2 years from now, you might get some votes in those red counties that you wouldn't have gotten before, because guess what? People who work hard break their backs farming, I think they're going to show some appreciation for somebody who helped them out, as opposed to ignoring them. The Democrats, they focus more on the coasts and the big cities, and the Republicans on the rural areas. But the Republicans already feel like they've got the farmers sewn up, so they don't need to represent them, because they know the farmers won't vote for the Democrats, so there's no reason to fight for their affection. And the Democrats figure the Republicans own the farmers, so they don't try. Maybe this is the time to try. Okay, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.